Did you know that a single equation created for trillion-dollar industries and completely changed how we think about risk? It might sound crazy, but this is the story of how a bunch of mathematicians and physicists took over Wall Street and reshaped the global economy. You've probably heard of legends like Jim Simons, a math genius who became one of the most successful hedge fund managers in history. But he wasn't the first. The story actually begins over a century ago with a brilliant French mathematician named Louis Bachelier. Back in 1900, Bachelier wrote his PhD thesis, The Theory of Speculation. He was the very first person to use advanced mathematics to model financial markets. He proposed that stock prices move randomly, like a drunk person stumbling around a concept he called a random walk. He even developed a method to calculate the fair price of an option. What's incredible is that just 5 years later, Albert Einstein, without knowing about Bachelier's work, independently developed the same mathematical framework to explain Brownian motion, the random movement of particles in a fluid. Einstein's work provided some of the first real evidence for the existence of atoms, all using the same math Bachelier used for stocks. For decades, Bachelier's work was largely forgotten by the financial world. Then, in the 1960s, a math professor named Ed Thorpe came along. You might know him as the guy who figured out how to beat the house in blackjack using card counting. Well, he decided to take his skills from the casino to the stock market. He realized that the principles were similar. You could manage your risk and gain an edge. Thorpe started the first ever quantitative hedge fund, using complex math to find pricing discrepancies in the market. He even developed his own, more advanced model for pricing options. He was making a fortune, but his methods were his secret sauce. The real revolution came in 1973. That's when Fisher Black, Black-Scholes, and Robert Merton published their groundbreaking paper. They introduced what's now famously known as the Black-Scholes-Merton equation. This wasn't just a theory. It was a clear, elegant formula that anyone could use to calculate the price of an option. Suddenly, the complex and murky world of options became transparent and accessible. This single equation was like pouring gasoline on a fire. The Chicago Board Options Exchange had just opened, and with this new formula, the options market exploded. It paved the way for the creation of massive derivative industries worth trillions and trillions of dollars today. So what do these derivatives actually do? On one hand, they're incredibly powerful tools for managing risk. An airline, for example, can use derivatives to lock in a future price for jet fuel. If oil prices shoot up, they're protected. This brings a lot of stability to the global economy. They also provide leverage, allowing investors to control large positions with a smaller amount of capital. But there's a dark side. The total value of all derivatives in the world is many, many times larger than the value of the actual assets they're based on, like stocks, bonds, or commodities. In normal times, this complex web of bets helps keep things stable. But during a crisis, like in 2008, it can act as an accelerant, turning a small fire into a global inferno. This brings us back to Jim Simons and his legendary medallion fund. While the Black-Scholes model assumes a certain kind of randomness, Simons and his team of scientists at Renaissance Technologies believed the market wasn't perfectly random. They hypothesized that hidden patterns and signals existed within the mountains of market data. Using sophisticated machine learning algorithms, long before it was a buzzword, they sifted through data to find these faint, non-random patterns. Their approach, which completely challenged the traditional efficient market hypothesis, delivered mind-blowing returns, averaging over 66% annually before fees for decades. They proved that by applying rigorous scientific principles, it was possible to consistently find an edge in the financial markets, from a forgotten PhD thesis to trillion-dollar markets and algorithmic trading. The journey of math and physics in finance shows how a single powerful idea can truly change the world. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.